I'm Seth Dyte of the Jack Jackson podcast. In each episode of Jack Jackson, you'll follow the adventures of 1950s private investigator Jack Jackson, along with your favorite recurring characters. His assistant Kitty, Peter the landlord, the villainous Rube Goldberg, rival detective Emerald Keaton, as well as new characters brought to life by our voice actors. Each episode delivers a new film noir mystery accompanied by sound effects, historic events, and pop culture references, all of them 100% correct. And to recreate the style of an old-time radio program, we include a show sponsor and record each episode in the dark in front of a live studio audience. It's a unique improv comedy experience with a touch of nostalgia that always delivers plenty of laughs. So sit back and get ready for another episode of Jack Jackson, in which Jack takes on his toughest case yet.
It's time for an all-new episode of Jack Jackson, Private Investigator, sponsored by Donaldson's Dog Leashes. Other dog leashes will strangle and kill your dog. Tonight, Jack takes on his toughest case yet, and the case of the dead party guest. Sponsored by Donaldson's Dog Leashes. Other dog leashes will leave you strapped for cash.
It was an interesting sort of affair. Peter put something on like this every year. Everyone in my apartment complex was gathered round, drinking shandy and champagne from little tall glasses. Just slurping that shit up.
Thanks for bringing me, Jack. I'm so enjoying myself.
Kitty was over by the open bars, drinking some stuff down. Big tall guy standing next to her.
Jack, you're much taller than I usually feel like you are. I mean, usually you're almost eye level, but now you're so tall and you're swimming around, too.
This wasn't my usual sort of affair. I'm often a lone wolf type. But, it was a little favor I was doing for Peter. He felt like the apartment complex, the people here were growing distant. So, everyone was gathered down in the lobby and having a little soiree. I walked around trying to keep to myself when I bumped into a man. He walked up to me.
Oh, pardon me there. I'm sorry.
Ah, yes, of course, this guy. His name was Tom. Nobody knew his last name. He was a Brit from 1B, second floor.
Oh, Jack, it's good to see you outside of your room.
He had crooked teeth and a monocle, big bushy mustache.
Oh, I'm sorry there. Let me put in my other monocle. That's better. Why would someone only wear one piece of glass?
Yeah. I walked away from Tom. He raised his drink to me.
Okay, goodbye.
Caught in a conversation with old Brit Tom, huh?
Ah, yes.
I have sympathy for you, Mr. Jackson.
He was mopping the floor, middle of the party. He wore a long blue pair of overalls, dark skin, short, buzzed hair. He was the maintenance guy, smoothest man in the whole complex. His name was Johnny Levi's.
Work never stops, I'm afraid. You know the feeling, huh, Mr. Private Eye?
Sure doesn't. I feel like I'm on a case every day, even when I'm just hanging out at a party in my apartments.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll be fine tonight. I enjoy the refreshments. I'm just trying to keep this floor nice and clean.
He stuck his mop in the bucket and slapped it on the floor.
Of course, it's really making it hard for people to dance, but, easy come, easy go. That's the saying.
Well, thanks, Levi's. Whoop. There was a thunderbolt outside. The lights flickered for a second. And
Jack! Oh, thanks for holding me, Jack. Oh, your hands are so big.
No problem! Ha ha! I use these hands to fight crime!
Oh!
His name was Polly Punches. He was a wrestler, 2B.
Wait, you're not Jack. You're Polly Punches. Punches, a wrestler for 2B. Jack!
Yes, it's me, Polly Punches. It's okay, I already signed every inch of your skin. You're welcome.
Jack, Polly Punches was hurting me. Jack, Polly Punches, you're
no.
Polly Punches.
Polly Punches only hurts people that are as big as me. Ha!
Then the stairs made a clitter clatter as a man walked down.
This thunder's gonna do great for my research.
It was Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe was a southern man. He lived in 3B.
Oh man, the life of a lawyer. So much research.
Oh, Joe Sensei, you look so tired. Here, have a nice piece of beef Wellington. It's not overcooked at all.
She was following down the stairs, heading towards the party. Maybelline Takagawa. She was Japanese. She lived across from Joe in 5B.
You're the best Japanese wife I could ever ask for.
They didn't live together, though.
Yes, I'm very grateful that you respect I am an independent woman.
The lights flickered again.
Now hold on a second, Dr. Joe. I got a question. I'm from the South as well, and I've been meaning to ask, what part of the South are you from? Considering your accent, I can't think of it.
Well, I'll be Manhattan, Alabama, of course.
Oh, I forgot.
Yep, I guess that's canon now. Manhattan, Alabama.
The most hip and happening scene in all of Alabama.
Well, that's what's on the license plates.
You know, his accent reminds me terribly of my own home of San Jose, Britain.
San Jose, settled by the Spanish, of course. Ah, yes, reminds me of my own hometown.
Oh, no, stop.
Of Indonesia, Oklahoma.
It's crazy how we're all from such far places, seeing as we're here in Michigan, Columbia.
Oh, hold on a second.
I think you're confused. This is definitely Dog City, Michigan, America.
Michigan, America, Columbia.
Hold on, just while we're all sharing, Miss Maybelline Takagawa, where are you from?
Kyushu. That's all, just Kyushu.
Okay.
All the best people come from Dock City. You're not from here, are you, Mr. Jackson?
It was him. It was Seth Dyte. He was the leader of the homeowners association.
Where are you from again, Mr. Jackson?
Oh, me? I'm from Chicago, Illinois, America.
Never heard of it.
Yes, Chicago. I guess if you can't afford to be born in Dock City, you can pay to be born in Chicago.
That's right.
That's what I call a hick town.
The door swung open and a man came in, shaking his umbrella off. It was Benny the bellboy. He looked startled. Something was wrong. His hair fell in his face. He was covered in water. And something else. Something was sticking out of his gut. The lights went out again. A thunderbolt hit the top of the building and the whole room shook. Everyone seemed shocked.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh!
I was so frightened I forgot to scream.
Boy, howdy.
Hey, if you've ever been through a southern lightning storm, then you don't care about no Dock
Good
City.
God, that man's been shot.
Ah! The lights came back on.
Yeah.
Benny the bellboy laid on the floor. Everyone standing around looking horrified.
Hold on, guys. Maybe if I punch him, I can bring him back to life.
Paulie Punches ran over and started giving him his 7-8 punch on his chest.
Live, damn it! Come on! Son, that ain't gonna work. What? My punches have always solved all my problems.
Wait a second, guys. Stand back. I'm a doctor.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Dr. Joe's on the scene.
There's one thing for sure. This man needs a lawyer because he is dead.
Listen, you're a doctor lawyer.
That I am. Toots.
Oh, I love it when you talk dirty.
Everyone remain calm. Don't worry, I'm a private investigator.
I tried to call for the police, but the phone lines seem to be out. I guess we'll have to make do for now until some real experts can show up.
Me and Seth Dyte always had a sort of rivalry. Mr. Dyte walked over and locked the front doors.
I'm afraid nobody can leave until the police get here.
That's a good call. Somebody in this room is a murderer.
Mr. Dyte, you're so intelligent and smart and handsome and charismatic. If I weren't so heterosexual, I'd jump your sexy bones right now.
Unfortunately, that would probably kill me due to my ever-present back injury.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I hear what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
And what a back injury it is. Boy, howdy.
You are a doctor, Mr. Dr. Joe.
Everyone kind of moved around in the room, taking their own little corners and whispering to each other.
I'm just gonna hide this body under a sheet. It's not very cleanly.
Jack,
The rain is there
Jack,
now.
Kitty pulled me aside.
I'm just so concerned. Everyone seems like they're laughing at, oh, somebody just died. I'm freaking out right here.
Don't worry, Kitty. Between me and you,
And this drink.
she tossed back a shandy. Between me and you.
Another one. I'm gonna have another one. I need another one.
All right, here, let me open it for you. From this separate bottle. There we go.
Oh, Jackson, my dear boy, if you could give me one also.
Yes, of course. Peter paid for all these bottles. There you go.
Hey, Jackson, do you mind? I'm running out of mop.
You know what? Let me just open one for everyone. Here we go.
Could you open them at the same time?
Yeah, let me show you this great trick where I can open 8 bottles at once. Here we go. Ready?
I'll take 2.
1, 2, and 3.
Wow, you're a magician with your hands.
Now, everyone get good and toasty. Get comfortable, because we're going to be in this room for a while.
I ordered a pizza.
How will it get here while there's a murder mystery?
In 30 minutes.
Use the backup telegraph.
Aha! Friends! Family! Countrymen, this is all very fun, but I have to retire to my room.
I just have to ask,
Yes.
Polly, are there anybody in here that you would describe as a friend, a family, or a countryman?
Probably! All of you I think of such. Anyway, I have to retire to my room. I have to get at least 12 hours of sleep to stay in peak health!
He made his way up the stairs.
Ha! 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 Take that, stairs! Another set of stairs conquered by Polly punches!
I thought maybe now would be a good time to get some testimony out of the people here at this murder before everyone retired.
I'm already gone!
I pulled Miss Takagawa aside. We sit over by the drinks. So, Maybelline.
So, Jack.
How's it been over in 4B?
Oh,
You know, I'm a
very-
floor above you. I hear you're a clarinet sometimes.
Yes, I practice every day. I have to keep it up. I haven't been the same since the war when poor Mr. Takagawa left. God rest his soul.
That's right. Maybelline Takagawa was a recent widow. Her affair with Dr. Joe is only a recent happening.
Yes, I was taking out little Missy for a walk earlier today with my Donaldson's dog leash.
Oh, that is a hell of a dog leash.
Oh, it's the best in America, which is not very good compared to Japanese dog leash, but it'll do.
Oh, I'm gonna ignore that. Donaldson's dog leashes.
You know, I heard Donaldson's dog leashes train your dog to poop outside all on their own. I'm just a janitor, though.
You know, if I was a dog, I would love the gentle caress of Donaldson's dog leashes.
Said Polly punches from the top of the stairs, then he turned and went to his room.
But yes, Missy has been acting very, very scared lately. I think maybe it's because of the storm. She probably felt it.
It has been rainy these last few days. So why don't you talk to me, Miss Takagawa? You and the good doctor, your fling is pretty recent. How did you two meet?
Oh, well, it's a silly story.
She glanced over at the doctor and made doughy eyes. The kind of eyes somebody saves for pastries when they're really hungry.
I was burning some incense for my late husband, Mr. Takengawa, who died fighting for the United States forces against his own homeland, and I am not bitter in the slightest about that. Anyway, I was burning incense for him, and Joe-sensei, he came by smelling the incense, and he said, "What is that intoxicating aroma?" I thought he was talking about me, but it was the incense, and we had a laugh and a laugh,
And here we are, 2 months later, and you're going steady, and you're married.
Oh, yes, I don't go steady with anyone unless we get married first.
Ah, good Christian woman. Well, I'll leave you be. I'm gonna go talk over there to Mr. Levi's. Oh! The clock struck 12 o'clock. Unfortunately, the other party guests made their way away. Joey Levi's was cleaning up.
Jack, where am I gonna spend the night? I have to stay with you, Jack.
Oh, here, go ahead and take my key to my office, Kitty. You can crash on the couch.
Oh, your bed would be better.
Oh, well, my apartment's a different key, and you're holding the one to the office, so you might as well. You already got the key. So you might as... All right. Okay. All right. See you in the morning.
You know, Miss Kitsworth, if the couch in Jackson's office isn't agreeable to you, I got a bed in the boiler room with the sheets are 4 thread count. It's this amazing new technology where they make cotton into thread.
Oh, you better marry him first, Miss Kitsworth. No, it's okay. I'll sleep on Jack's couch.
She made her way upstairs. The rest of the party started to file out.
You need to talk to me before I go, Jack?
Nope, I'll talk to you later.
All right, then.
It's not like you're some kind of special guest or something. Get out of here.
Absolutely.
All right, scrap.
Oh, Jackson, your repartee is bar to none.
So, Joey.
Yeah, that's the name.
As a man who has who knows the ins and outs of this building here, you'd know where somebody'd be able to quickly appear or disappear or lock the doors, right?
Corners are good.
I hadn't thought of that.
There's a couple windows in this room, but they were closed on account of the rain.
Right.
What
do you know about...
And the door to downstairs is locked, and that's where my boiler room is, so I guess I'm just sleeping here.
What do you know about Benny the Bellboy? The one under the sheet over there.
What? Fuck!
The window broke and a knife flew in, hitting Joey Levi in the chest. He fell on the ground.
Haven't felt the pain like that since my mom's chili.
He slowly closed his eyes.
Mr. Jackson, you gotta avenge Benny. He was a good boy.
What do you know about Benny, quick?
He had, dead.
He was dead before he could say it. I looked over. A figure ran past the window. I couldn't make him out, though.
Fuck you.
The wind covered up them. I looked out. They started climbing up the building. They jumped in through a second floor window.
Suck it, Jackson.
The window slammed closed. Damn. The rest of the apartment doors started to lock. Everyone was out. I was the only one who knew. I had to hurry up there and get a glimpse if I could. I ran up to the second floor. Past 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B. That was the end of the hall. Miss Takagawa's dog was outside, on a leash tied against the good doctor's door. I guess there were 2 dogs. That was the window. Doctor. There was also some birds tied up with the leashes. Those Donaldson's dog leashes. They're good for anything. I moved the myriad of various animals that were in front of Dr. Joe's door. 3B. I listened at the door. That was the door that somebody climbed in the window. I heard him. There was him. It was definitely the voice of Dr. Joe, the lawyer, and Miss Takagawa.
Oh, Joe Sensei, do it again.
They were whispering to each other.
Sure thing, baby.
I peeked through the keyhole to get a better look.
Oh, yes.
This is quite delightful.
Am I still needed here, or can I leave?
You say where you are, Tom.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to go. I'm sorry that I had to be here for this.
He climbed out of the bed.
Just let me know if you need another stenographer for your lovemaking.
Do us a favor and light some of that sweet, sweet incense on your way out there.
You got it.
Jasmine incense is the best.
He lit the incense. I had to hide quick. I ducked behind the way that the door would swing open so I'd be behind it.
All right, heading out now. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3.
Oh, the door hit me in the face.
Oh, there was something in front of the door. Let me open it again.
You gotta really push on it.
Oh, maybe push harder.
He started squeezing me against the wall and the door.
You should really get someone to look at this. Mr. Levi's, maybe. There might be something, a dead animal or something. I keep on slamming this door, and it doesn't seem to open all the way.
They don't make doors like this in Manhattan, Alabama.
Kyushu, Japan.
He started walking down the hall, heading back to his apartment, 1B. He went in. He closed the door slowly. He didn't seem to notice me. All the animals scurried their way inside.
That's how a door's supposed to close.
He went into his apartment and closed the door. I needed to gather some more information. I didn't have enough evidence yet. One of these people is a murderer. 3 of those were in the room that I saw the murderer climb into. I peeked back through the keyhole. They were standing, both of them smoking a cigarette. They seemed to be talking, suddenly more serious. Maybe they'd reveal something about the case.
Smoking cigarettes sure makes us look cool.
Oh, yes, it's my favorite thing about being an American.
They talked bullshit like this for a while, and then they got to the real heart of what was going on.
Thank you so much for helping me get over Mr. Takagawa's death.
Well, as a lawyer, you know the best things to get over people's deaths are killing more people.
Oh, you know just how to cheer a girl up.
I wasn't sure if that was a joke or if he was just confessed to murdering 2 people.
Damn, that was a confession.
Oh, you actually did it this time.
Well, yeah, of course. I do it every time. It's kind of a lawyer's thing.
Wait. Sweetheart, this not like role-playing that we do? You teach me to role-play. I role-play every night. I schoolgirl, I nun, I teacher, I cat, I spider, I translation attendant,
They started walking towards the door.
I waitress.
And you're the priest.
Yes, I also priest.
It looked like he was escorting her out back to her apartment.
And now you murderer?
I was always murderer. You were priest, I was murderer. You were schoolgirl and spider, murderer.
Oh.
It's my jazz.
Okay. Well, I go to my own room now for bed now.
The hall was dark. She didn't see me. She started walking across the hall to her room. Dr. Joe closed his door. Damn, I actually thought I solved a case within the first, 5 minutes? No, 25 minutes. I creeped over to Miss Takagawa's room and I listened to the door. It sounded like she was on the phone all of a sudden.
おかしいな。なぜ彼が告白したの？わかんない。もしもし？もしもし？切っちゃったの？もしもし？お父さん？
Damn, I didn't know moon speak.
お父さん、食べ物のことを知ってる話してる場合じゃないのに。ご主人が。こんにちは。お父さん、うるさい。
ますか。
父さん
She seemed to be
ちゃ
getting
んと聞い
frustrated.
てちゃんと聞いて
いえ。
父さんご主人が
そうですか。
何も言ってないのよまだ
I'm sure if somebody was listening that spoke Japanese, this would all be hilarious. I moved away from the door. I wasn't getting anything out of that. That's when I noticed it. Polly Punch's door was wide open. It sounded like there were two people in there talking. It was about 1 o'clock now. It seemed odd that he would be conversing at this time. I walked over to the door and peeked in.
Polly,
It was Tom, the British man.
as you know, I fought in the war, and I've never seen any kind of murder wounds like the ones on the poor boy downstairs. It looked like he was shot.
It sounds...
Why aren't you saying anything, Polly?
Wait! You think he was shot? Whoa!
It sounded like they were about to discuss the suspects they had among the people that were here.
I read
I thought
about
it could have
it.
been a ghost! Sorry, go ahead!
I read about it in a lot of medical journals when I was out in the field, but I never actually seen anyone get shot before.
Kids should know that shooting guns is bad. Instead, solve your problems with punches.
Of course, but the first thing we need to do is figure out who did it.
Well, they would have to have a gun.
You know who has a gun? Jack Jackson has a gun.
Ah! It makes sense to Polly. And when I find Jack Jackson, I'm gonna turn his spine into a bent spine.
You know, spines bend naturally.
But it'll hurt.
Oh, yes, of course.
Damn, that's not gonna get me anywhere. I snuck away.
I smell sneaking. Polly punch!
He threw the door open and he stood in the hallway.
Jackson, I have every reason to believe you're the murderer.
You have literally one reason.
Because you have a gun!
I'm not the only person with a gun.
What?
This is America.
Oh, that means I have to wrestle every single person with a gun? Off I go!
Hey, Polly punches. Some people have knives.
What? Oh,
I'm gonna throw it.
thanks for telling me. Oh. It'll take more than one knife to pierce my abs. Ow!
Knife slap. Oh. Knife slap.
I couldn't make out the person. The room was too dark.
I'm not done. Suplex!
Knife slap repay.
He parried his suplex.
Dragon Twister!
Knife slap on twist.
Goodness, why doesn't anyone else jump in and stop this? All my training in World War II never prepared me for violence.
The lights came back on. Polly was on the ground in a pool of blood.
Kids, if you're watching, don't do drugs.
Polly, stay with me.
Don't do knives.
Think of the little Paulsters.
Little posters! Don't shoot guns! Just use your muscles. And your brain is the strongest muscle of all.
He was gone.
Polly, no, there's nobody here under the age of 30. Your lessons are wasted, you beautiful son of a bitch.
I closed his eyes. He was wrestling in the ring in the sky now. Tom, somebody here, I can rule you out now, I guess. Somebody here has killed 3 people now. They got Levi downstairs.
Jackson, I suppose I need to come clean with you then.
You have some kind of motivation or allegation against another suspect?
I do. But in order for me to show you that...
Don't you dare die before you say anything.
No, I will not.
It would really make it hard to progress the story forward without any information. Everyone dying before they give me anything. Go ahead.
My name isn't actually Tom, and I'm not from San Jose, Britain. My name is Mark. I'm from San Jose, Britain, and I work for the FBI.
San Jose, Britain, Alabama?
The one and only.
One word, San Jose, Britain.
San Jose, Britain.
Alabama.
I have reason to believe, Jack, that possibly Mr. Levi's or Mrs. Takagawa is our culprit.
Well, you can rule out Mr. Levi because he's in a pool of blood downstairs.
Then that leaves the remaining living people in this building.
So, what's your reason for suspecting Miss Takagawa, Agent Mark?
I only speak maybe 3 words of Japanese, but she doesn't know that I know any. And I heard her speaking about the bellboy several days before he was murdered tonight.
So that's why you're here then. You knew that the bellboy would be murdered.
Yes.
And you bought an apartment
2 days ago.
You know, I feel like I should have mentioned that at the top of the episode.
It was a secret to everyone.
Right. So then, we looked over. Miss Takagawa's door was open. That's suspicious. We walked down the hall, stepping over Polly Punch's body. Looking in Miss Takagawa's apartment, she wasn't there. There was paper scattered all over the floor, a briefcase, and a suitcase half full of clothing.
I think you know that they like to do weird roleplay things in the middle of the night.
No, I'm thinking that this might have been a sort of escapee, sort of get out of the country sort of thing.
So you think that Mr. Lawyer Man was also Joe, that was his name.
Dr. Joe.
You think Joe was helping him, huh? Her.
One of them. I looked across the hall. Joe's doors was open too. I walked over, looked in his room. He was sitting with his back up against the bed, clutching something against his chest. I walked in. Joe? I slowly reached towards my gun. Joe?
What is it, Gumshoe?
Talk to me, Joe.
Talk to me too, you know, your good friend, Tom from Britain.
Oh, thank God, Tom. I can tell you anything. I guess I could just turn my body around to reveal what I'm holding and whatnot.
He slowly turned. He seemed tense. He opened his arms up.
That's right.
We have a son.
You got married 2 months ago! So, wait. You were married 2 months ago? That means you and Miss Takagawa must have... She stepped out of the shadows.
Yes.
You cheated on your husband?
10 years ago.
What?
And then I cheated on my second husband 8 years ago. And then on my third husband 6 years ago. Every 2 years I cheat on a different new husband. But I have to keep marrying them after I cheat so that it would be proper.
She's a good Christian woman. The child was clutched in Joe's arms.
It's different this time, though. We've got a real good thing going. I genuinely believe she's changed.
Yes, now that we have a son, everything can go back to normal again. I no longer have to put up with my father, who is for some reason obsessed with food all the time.
I'm guessing that's what you were talking about on the phone.
You were listening in on my conversation. How rude!
Mother, father, cannot you hear me crying?
The baby seemed to concentrate, but didn't actually say anything.
Oh, Shin-chan, you're so fussy. Here, come to mommy. You have some dinner.
Oh, that's great.
Have some dinner. Oh, Shin-chan.
So that's what the secrecy is then. You're not involved in this case at all?
What case?
Betty the bellboy, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Betty, so yasashi, so good, so nice.
I looked over at the doctor. He seemed to be frustrated, angry.
All right, well, guess probably should confess now, right?
Oh, about the role playing. Yes, he likes likes to pretend to be murderer. I'm the nun and the priest and schoolgirl and nurse and...
Yes,
we know.
I have a 45-page book of all the things that you made you do.
Oh, yeah,
Don't forget about the spider.
Oh, yes, the spider.
That was a long entry.
Thank you for being our stenographer during our...
Any time.
It's not just role-playing, dear.
You killed Benny the bellboy?
Me and my son needed a hobby. For a guy like me who doesn't like to play catch, there was only one other game. Murder.
With knives.
With lots of knives. Thank you, son.
What?
Is this true? You tell the truth to my face? This whole time?
Me and...
I've got to be honest, I've never once understood what you've said to me. Yes, we do the killing thing.
FBI Detective Mark slowly reached for his gun. I followed suit.
I trusted you! How dare you, you bad, bad man! Take that!
Ow!
Mother, why do you shoot father?
Shisha, be quiet!
The lights went out again. Another lightning bolt hit the roof.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Bullets started flying everywhere.
Knives are gonna fly too.
Shinchan, you bad, bad boy!
Knife slap.
Kill all these people, son, for your old man.
Oh. Jack, help. The only gun I have is my Sten. And a pound of C4.
The room filled with smoke. Everything got hazy.
Jack! I'm here for you, Jack!
Kitty flew by, lighting the side of the building up with a heavy machine gun.
I couldn't sleep, Jack, knowing that you were in danger!
I rolled into the hallway. Chuck Payne was standing there. It was Polly Punch's main wrestling rival.
Polly! It's me, Chuck Payne.
He was holding the body.
I always wanted to fight you in the ring as equals one last
He
time.
looked at me. His eyes turned furious.
Roar!
His veins started popping out.
These aren't drugs, it's just adrenaline.
He charged at me. He seemed to think I killed Polly.
Payne Puncher!
I laid buckshots and buckshots into him, but he just kept coming.
They say wrestling is fake.
He slammed into me and we flew out the window.
Mr. Payne, this may be a bad time, but as a child, I'm a pretty big fan.
Hey, kid! Catch! That's my champion belt, kid! You're the real champion!
This is an awful lot of violence for a bellhop that none of us really knew.
We slammed into the roof of the car outside. He was unconscious. The rain was coming down hard. I ran back, heading towards the building. Police cars pulled up outside, their sirens flashing, reflecting off all the water. A bunch of officers stepped out.
All right, we got a murder on our hands, boys. Let's get in there and let's solve some crime.
Oh, we're gonna get those bad guys!
Oh yeah, murder.
Woohoo, high five!
Let's go, cops! Go, cops! All right, now which one of you did the murder? Please tell the truth.
So, Jack, after all that, who was the murderer? I gotta know if I'm gonna be writing your biography.
I sat in my office. That day, the police interrogated every single one of those people. The real twist here, Tony, the real twist was that they were all the murderer. That's right. 2 of them confessed. Polly Punches had a fling with the bellboy. And the handyman caught him. The only way that they could get it covered up was by killing each other. Mutually assured destruction. The other two cleaned up the mess. Their murder fetish. The FBI agent, Mark, he disappeared into the night.
If no one's gonna arrest me, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I was hit with C4.
Oh, he was sitting at the desk handcuffed to attest to everything. That's how it happened, right?
I mean,
You've been listening to Jack Jackson and the Case of the Dead Party Guest. Sponsored by Donaldson's Dog Leashes. Other leashes? Bad. Join us next week.
That's it.
When Jack takes on his toughest case yet.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Brint, and I just want to thank you for listening to Jackjacksonnoir. This episode is brought to you by CSC Sacramento Theater. We record live there every first Saturday. You can find ticket info at cscsacramento.com. Also, if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us spread the show around, and also we'll release a bonus episode for every 50 reviews we get. Those episodes will be based on suggestions that you leave in your reviews, so it's a way for you folks to get involved. Lastly, if you want to send a message to Jack to read in a future segment, you can send those over to jackjacksonnoir@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next Wednesday. I woke up around...
Well, fuck.
Was that a woodpecker sound effect or something wrong?
Let's start over, sorry.